Have you ever noticed how most of us are living in this constant state of urgency? We brush our teeth like we're running late. We vacuum our living room like it's a race. We clench our jaw while sending an email, and we reply immediately to that email just to clear our inbox. We listen to podcasts at 2x speed. We eat like someone's about to take our plate away. We walk fast even when we're not late. Like everything has to be done. And I'm sweating just thinking about it. And the strange part is we're not actually in a stressful situation. There's no real urgency. There's no emergency. Yet our bodies tense and hurry like there is. Somewhere along the way, speed and stress just became our default. And we've been living this way for so long, it just feels normal. And we don't even realize what it's costing us. But I don't think we were ever meant to live this way. So I want to talk about how we got here, what it's actually doing to us, and what it looks like to get out of it. I want you to realize something. Okay, as human beings, we used to live completely differently. When the sun came up, we woke up. And when the sun set, the day ended. Whether we liked it or not, even if we were in the middle of doing something. Winter meant slowing down. Summer meant longer days. Our bodies moved with the rhythm of the seasons and daylight and nature. And there was no such thing as constant availability. Tasks took as long as they took. And if you wanted to talk to someone, you had to go walk and find them. If you needed to wait for something to cook, you waited. If it got dark, you stopped working because you literally couldn't see. Baked into our old human life, we had natural pauses everywhere. And we had permission to move at a human pace because there was simply no other option. But then everything changed. We invented electricity and artificial lights. We invented the assembly line, where speed suddenly equaled value. We invented telephones and computers and emails and fancy schmancy smartphones. We invented this never-ending TikTok stream. We also invented microwaves and dishwashers and washing machines. We now have instant communication with one another, and we thought all of this was supposed to make our life easier and better. And of course, in some ways, it did. But all these conveniences were supposed to give us more time, more space, more rest. But it didn't. Instead, convenience just raised our expectations. Technology didn't just save time, it removed the natural pauses and breaks in our day and in our life. And now when the day ends, it doesn't matter. You just turn on the lights and keep going. Now we can do more. So we think we should do more. Now things can be done faster. So we think they should be done faster. And without even realizing it, we adapted to this sort of pace. A pace that we were never meant to keep. A pace that is constant, relentless, always on, always reachable. We replaced natural rhythms with artificial urgency. And when we live that way for so long, our body can no longer tell the difference between an actual emergency and just a random Tuesday. So we stay tense and stressed and rushed all the time. And after a while, it just starts to feel like a part of you. And it just starts to feel familiar and like your baseline. And I'm sure you can guess, what do you think that's doing to our nervous systems? Our nervous system was designed to handle short bursts of stress. Run from the bear, avoid the threat, then rest, recover, and return to baseline. That's not really the way it is anymore. We're no longer living in short bursts. We don't have breaks anymore, not really, not like we used to. Relaxation and calm isn't our baseline. Constant low-grade urgency is now our baseline, and our bodies were never designed for that. When your body lives in that constant low-grade urgency and that dysregulated nervous system state, it doesn't make us better. It shifts us into survival mode, and survival mode is incredible when you're in danger. Have you ever been in like an actual dangerous situation and you notice your body responds in a certain way, in a way that makes it capable for you to handle that? Like one time I got in a car accident and I was totally fine, but the airbag burned me all over, burned my hand and my arm. And I didn't even notice until like 1 or 2 hours later because I didn't feel any pain at all, right? So for example, in the old days, if there was a bear that was going to eat you and you went into survival mode, what happened? Your heart rate increases. Your blood actually moves towards your arms and your legs so that you can run and fight better. Your non-essential systems in your body shut down, like your immune system and your digestive system, because who cares if you have a virus if you're going to be eaten by a bear, right? Survival mode is amazing for danger, but it is terrible for modern life. Most of us are not running from bears. We're answering emails. We're sitting in meetings. We're trying to focus. We're trying to think clearly. We're trying to be present and loving with our loved ones. We're trying to be creative. When we're constantly dysregulated and living in urgency, it shifts our perception of the world. It doesn't make you more thoughtful. It makes you more reactive. It doesn't make you more creative. It makes you more vigilant. It doesn't make you more focused and intelligent. It makes you more scatterbrained. It doesn't make you more connected and loving. It just puts you on edge. And when your body is on edge like that all the time, small things feel heavier than they actually are. And that's why we end up procrastinating and avoiding the things that matter to us. It's why we scroll instead of doing the things that we said we were going to do. That is survival mode right there. Right? You don't need to achieve your goals or write that book or be fully present and compassionate with your loved ones. None of that stuff actually matters for your survival. And then we say things like, ugh, I'm lazy. Ugh, I need to be more disciplined. Ugh, what's wrong with me? When really nothing is wrong with you. You're not lazy, you're dysregulated. That's why pushing harder doesn't work. Well, it may for a short bit, yes, but in the long run, you'll end up right back where you started. The problem is not the procrastination or the laziness or the lack of focus. That's a symptom of the problem. The problem is the chronic urgency and survival mode that you're stuck in, and that we all get stuck in. And here's where it gets really interesting, because after a while, survival mode doesn't just affect you. It becomes you. It becomes a part of your personality, and your nervous system actually starts to prefer it. Think about that for a second. We get so used to these feelings of stress and tension and urgency and hurry and low-grade pressure that our bodies start to recreate it and perpetuate it. Our nervous system doesn't prefer peace. It prefers what's familiar. And that's why calm can sometimes feel weird. That's why a quiet Sunday can feel a little suspicious, like you're missing something or like you should be working on something or organizing that drawer. We've internalized this pace so deeply that we recreate it even when we don't need to. And I think that's the thing that everyone needs to notice. Nobody is asking you to wash the dishes with urgency and tension. Nobody is timing you. It's not an emergency, but we do it anyway. We bring that tension with us everywhere, into the mundane, into the everyday moments that should feel easy, because urgency is familiar, and familiar feels safe, even when it's hurting us. So we're not just victims to this pace anymore. We're the ones who are perpetuating it. I was watching this interview with Joe Dispenza on the Diary of a CEO podcast, and the host of that podcast, Stephen Bartlett, he said how he has this bad habit where he eats sugary snacks and sugary things late at night, and then he immediately feels guilty about it. And he wants to quit this addiction to sugar. And Joe Dispenza said something interesting. He said, you might not be addicted to the sugar, you might be addicted to the guilt. We always talk about addiction like it's always about a substance or a behavior, gambling or smoking or eating sugar or being addicted to your phone. But the thing that I don't think people realize is that we can also become addicted to our emotional states, including negative emotional states. Think about that. Actually addicted, okay, to feeling stressed, to feeling guilty, to feeling pressure, to feeling like a victim, to feeling shame, to feeling insecure. Not because we enjoy it, we don't enjoy it, but because it's familiar. And our bodies have been practicing these feelings for so long that it's now our default setting, our comfort zone, our normal. It's almost become part of our personality. So you think you're addicted to the scrolling, but maybe you're addicted to the numbness. You think you're addicted to working, or you're like a workaholic, but maybe you're addicted to feeling important. You think you're ambitious, but maybe you're addicted to the pressure. You might even feel addicted to self-improvement content, but maybe you might just be addicted to the feeling of healing and never feeling like you're enough. You think you're addicted to coffee, but maybe you're addicted to feeling anxious and wired. You think you're addicted to true crime and you love it and you watch it every single night, but maybe you're addicted to the feeling of feeling unsettled and unsafe. Our internal sense of urgency and tension is just another one of those emotional states. And even though we don't really like it, maybe there's a part of us that's a little bit addicted to it. Our body has practiced it, it's memorized it, so we keep choosing it. And all of a sudden, that urgency isn't just external anymore, out in the world, it becomes internal. It's in the self. Because a chronically dysregulated nervous system, funny enough, will keep craving the very thing that's dysregulating it. So to get out of that pattern, and really the first step in breaking any addiction, is just noticing you're in it. Okay, so just notice it. Notice when you are rushing for no reason. Notice when your body is tense for no reason. Notice when your jaw is clenched for no reason. Notice when you're doing the dishes like somebody is timing you. Notice when a calm moment makes you uncomfortable and you want to reach for your phone. Just notice. Because then once you notice and you can see it, you can start choosing differently. You can soften and relax into it, whatever it is you're doing. And instead of asking yourself, how quickly and efficiently can I get this done? You can ask yourself, how good can I let this feel? How relaxed can I feel while doing this? How much fun can I have while doing this? Because doing the dishes is not something that you have to sprint through. Cleaning up your living room at the end of the night isn't something that has to feel urgent. It can feel meditative. It can feel calm. It can feel safe. Writing the first chapter of your book or starting a business, it doesn't have to feel stressful. It can feel like play. It can feel calm. It can feel fun. It could feel safe. Most of your life is made up of tiny, mundane moments. So it isn't just about the way you do the dishes or the way you respond to emails. It ends up being about the way that you move through your entire life. And most of those moments don't actually require the tension that we are bringing to them. You can't control the speed of the world, but you can control the urgency you feel in your own body. And sure, your body might feel comfortable and familiar and maybe even addicted to that urgent state, but familiar doesn't mean necessary. And familiarity is not always right. And familiarity can be retrained because you were never meant to live like this. And somewhere deep in your body, I know that you already know that. So how relaxed can you let yourself feel? How good can you let yourself feel? How much fun can you let yourself have?